All right, folks. Hi, this is PV from Kit Karma, and I've got something special today. Borrowed from a friend, not mine. And it's not the camera. Yes, the camera is special. I love the camera, but I'm not going to talk about the camera. I'm going to talk about the lens. Woohoo! So this is this is the Hasselblad X1D Mark II medium format, 33 by 44. So sort of obviously larger than full frame, but smaller than full frame medium format, which is 6 to 4 by 5. This is 44 by 33, so crop medium format, you can call it that. And this lens, now this is a beauty. This is the 80 mm, which translates to about 64 mm in 35 mm field of view, f1.9. Now f1.9 is one of their fastest lens. It is their fastest lens. It's their widest aperture lens. All the others are 2.8 and narrower. So this one is really special. Now, because it's 1.9, it carries a lot of glass, and it's heavy. And because it carries so much of glass, it's fairly sluggish in focusing. So now if you can hear this, there. So I start focusing and then it focuses. I start focusing, then it focuses. So it's not too bad. It's not too bad. I think it's pretty much as those Fuji GFX lenses which have contrast detect. Of course, GFX 100 has phase detect, so it's a little faster, but pretty much all the contrast detect lenses are like this. So in fact, it carries so much glass that I would actually give the benefit of the doubt and say it's not too slow. It's fairly okay. Remember that Canon 85 1.2 EF lenses, how they used to behave, the original first version? They were fairly sluggish simply because of the glass they really had. So at 1.9, how does this perform? It is stellar. It's stunning. It's sharp. It's razor sharp. It's got a kind of a swirly bokeh if you shoot it from that sweet spot distance of about 6 feet, anywhere between 5 to 8 feet maybe, with your subject at that distance, and then the background, few meters away. It's beautiful. It renders beautifully. No flare, not much flare. Very, very mild flare. Very controlled. No chromatic aberration. No purple fringing. Hardly any, unless you're shooting like bang against the sun in high contrast situations, which hardly a guy who understands photography will hardly do that. So now, when you shoot medium format, you're fairly purposeful. I mean, it's not a lens which you would put on your camera and carry it around all day, right? Not for like just doing some time pass shooting, right? So you would buy this. It's almost $5,000 including taxes. So it's a fairly expensive lens. So I think if you buy this or you intend to buy this, you should know what you want to do with it. So most medium format shooters are fairly purposeful. They fairly know what they want to do. And that's why not a lot of times they need lenses this wide, because they are shooting fashion or shooting products and all, which require fairly good depth of field, right? It doesn't require very narrow depth of field, but this one does give you that advantage. And of course, it has, like all other XCD Hasselblad lenses, a leaf shutter, and your shutter speed can go up to 1/2000 when you use a flash. So that's a brilliant advantage, and that's one thing which endears me to the Hasselblad series compared to the Fuji series, among other things. Of course, European design versus Japanese design, and the Japanese philosophy of cram everything in one camera, whereas the European, if you take a Leica, Linhof, Hasselblads, all these are minimal, fairly minimal, and are for purposeful photographers. So I really love this. Here are some pictures, very sharp. So I can, on the Hasselblad, you can move the focus point around. There is no tracking. This does not have any eye detect and all that. So you have to move your focus point with your finger, and I used to do that and put it on the model's face or the eye, and it was brilliant. It was very accurate. I think out of some 200 odd shots, maybe one shot I missed. Again, if you're missing in this, it's only because you make a mistake on the focus point or the subject moved. Now, because it has no eye detect and all that stuff, tracking and all that, you can't go ta 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 ta. You can't do that. First of all, this doesn't even have, I think, that kind of speed. The camera, right? The camera is fairly slow as well. So you have to make sure the posture is fine. You're focused properly, and then really press the trigger. So again, goes back to the whole purposeful thing. So yeah, it's an absolutely brilliant lens in that sense, but like I said, fairly heavy. I don't think you can lug this around all day for that. There is a beautiful 45 mm, which is a 35 mm equivalent. I would really go to that. I have that, a 3.5. But this one is very purposeful. I would use this if I'm shooting outdoor portraits, which is what I did. I shot a couple of beautiful models to test this out in natural light. I did not use flash. I shot them in natural light, backlight, front light, and like I said, this controls flare very well, and it's really contrasty even when backlit. So the glass is just phenomenal, and tack sharp. What else? Like I said, no chromatic aberration, none of those things. Fairly expensive, and performs brilliantly. Can't think of anything else, so I've tested this. Thanks to Josh, who was kind enough to lend me this lens for a few days. And I think I'll be returning this to him tomorrow. I have a 90 mm 3.2 and I have a 45 mm, as I said, for this, and I really love both those lenses. So check out these pictures, hit the subscribe button, do the bell thing, the stuff. So yeah, it would be of real help if you follow. And I know I've been lethargic, not doing a lot of videos. I want to do, I'm testing so much of stuff, but I'm not doing this. So I want to do this more often. And so the, one question is, why would you buy this lens? This lens is brilliant if you're going to shoot in low light, or if you want separation, subject background separation. Would I use it in a wedding? I'm a wedding photographer primarily and a portrait photographer. Portraits, yes, absolutely. For weddings, no. I would probably use it only when I'm doing wedding portraits. So if I'm doing formal wedding portraits of the bride and groom, or the bride separately, groom separately, I would surely use this with or without a flash, and it would be brilliant. But I don't think, first of all, medium format with the file sizes are even practical to use in weddings. So I have couple of other cameras like us for that, but this would be useful for portraits surely, given also that the flash sync is with leaf shutter, goes up to 1/2000. It's a mouth-watering prospects. I've done it with the Fuji, and the sensor is the same in the Fuji and this, right, but the color science is different. So with the Fuji, the results were stunning, but the flash sync speed was 1/25 of a second. Here I can go up to 1/2000, so I can shoot wide open in this lens and use flash, and without a problem, without any issue in the power of my pro photos. So really looking forward. I might, well, if I can sell something else, I might buy this lens, but right now I have a 90, which is very close to the 80, so I probably will not immediately splurge, but a brilliant lens nevertheless. Thank you, and see you guys. Bye-bye.